Hello. The Hilton Head Concours and Motoring Festival, well, we're bringing together one of the best classes around because it's celebrating the 70th anniversary of the 300 SL Gullwing, and what we're doing is we're bringing some of those first Mercedes that were ever made all in one place. And most of those actually came to America because, as much as it's a German story, we were really the catalyst and the customer. It was Max Hoffman who placed the big order to start getting production. It was Briggs Cunningham who had the first production car, and basically after that, 4 out of every 5 cars, well, they came right here to the USA. So as much as it's a big German story, well, it really gets told with an American accent. And so before you see all those groundbreaking cars at the Concours, we want to go around and tell some of those great stories that are in our own backyard. That's what's got us here in California, well, quite frankly, one of the most impressive collections you're ever going to find. And we've even got an early Gullwing, but I can't tell you as much about it as the guy who cleans the windows.
Oh, hi.
Jay, thank you.
Good to see you. Yeah, this is a 1954 car. You can tell because these are bolted on rather than welded on. I'm not a matching numbers guy, but if you happen to have it, that's great. We'll put this up in the air. Axles all matched, transmission. This car has never been restored. It's been a race car most of its life. This paint job was done by Junior's House of Color, I think back in the late 60s, early 70s. That was sort of the big hot rod painter at the time. A guy named Tony Nancy, who was a famous drag racer, he was also an interior guy. He did the leather seats. It raced at Riverside a lot. I've got a lot of photographic history of that. And I know with Story Pines and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's fun. I like it because it's one of the few Gullwings you can do this. You know, you go to Cars and Coffee and the kids can sit in it. And I personally like this patina to it because I can use it for its intended purpose, just to have fun and drive. If it gets a little nick, it's not the end of the world, you know.
But that's a race car, right?
That's a race car. And of course, well, you know who else is racing in 54?
Well, so you've got a 54. This is kind of like a Fangio car.
It is like a Fangio car. In fact, it's so much like that he actually gave me this. This is his first Constructors Trophy. That's from Fangio himself. Take a look.
Jeez. See, the victories that Fangio had between the time when they had the winter when they premiered the car in New York and when they actually sold them in September. Fangio is like the unofficial spokesman of the summer, just winning every race.
And it's not like today's. In this days, you got the trophy, you got a slice of cold mutton and a firm handshake. There you go, you're the champion. You know, nobody got, like Phil Hill, he raced for gasoline and tires. I mean, guys make millions, tens of millions of dollars now, but back then, well, it's still for the love of the sport, but it really was back in those days because you had to have another job if you were a race car driver back in those days.
Now, I have to ask you, how did you get his trophy to your house?
I was close to the Garfiglio family. They were metal crafters. They did a lot of work. Argentine background. They were familiar with Fangio. I got to meet Fangio at Pebble Beach a couple of times. So that was pretty cool. So that was, you know, it wasn't a close, but he knew I liked cars, and there you go.
Oh, that's impressive enough. And so you said I could take that home with me, right?
Ah, sorry. It's not going to happen. How'd you even get in here?
Sorry.